Hello, my name is Briar, and I really wanted to make a video, I guess, a beginning of a blog, and something that really frustrates me. And I got into a conversation with a Donald Trump supporter, several of them, who were noted as the common argument that black people, as a culture, we don't understand things like hard work, and we have an entitled mentality. The black people are, less successful or not as successful as white people because we don't work as hard as them, or, we don't, speak as well, or essentially what they're saying is that we haven't assimilated into white society, and don't have the character and principles that white people do because white is right, and we should be more like them. And all that's fine, and I really don't mind any of that. But the only thing that bothers me more, and that I really want to take a moment to really kind of like say this, so anyone who's Caucasian out there, if you're gonna see this on my Facebook or on my YouTube, you've heard me talk about race issues before. But I really wanted to verbally say it because I don't feel like a Facebook status would really do it justice, because whenever white people, particularly privileged and affluent white people, have the nerve to go out on social media or any form of speaking out in public and talk about entitlement, that black people are entitled, it really fucking pisses me off, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm the child of two people who went to segregated schools. Right, my grandmother, was the child of two people who were sharecroppers, and their parents were slaves. So, at what point in time this entitlement came, or what we got that we didn't earn, when that happened, I'm not really sure. If any white person out there in the world wants to tell me what my family got that we haven't worked for, please email us and tell us where it is, because last I checked, all we got was 500 years of our labor stolen via slavery, our rights to vote and rights as human beings stolen during Jim Crow and segregation, and our right to success and happiness during segregation, and pretty much before the year 2005 had absolutely no chance of being, successful in any in any industry that was white dominated. It's not so much as to complain, and my father worked every day in his life, and even though he went to segregated schools, or he was always seen as subhuman, because he was a black man. He never complained about it. He never held bitter grudges saying, "Oh, I got a less than education, so I couldn't go to college," or "Oh, I got a this, or I got a that, or I should have had this, or I should have had that." And he always just said, just wake up and work harder than the next guy. And that's the mentality that I've taken, and I have his flag behind me here. And my mother took the same mentality, and I always felt that, honestly, I wish they had been more frustrated about it, because they did have something stolen from them. They were entitled to a chance to be successful. They were entitled to a good education. They were entitled to have an opportunity to go to college, and they were entitled to those things. That was, and I just feel like, it's completely ridiculous and disgusting for anyone, especially anyone who hasn't been in that situation, to tell us, my family, or me, or anyone like me, that we're entitled, that we have an entitlement culture. My grandfather fought in World War II. A black man fought in World War II, came home and got treated like trash. But we have an entitled mentality. What entitled mentality did he teach my father, and what entitled mentality did my father teach me? I'm curious. Because as far as our family is concerned, we had third generation military. I served in the Air Force. My father served in the Navy. My grandfather served in the Army in World War II. And we were never even entitled to being treated like human beings the entire time my family served. But we're entitled. You should really look at history before you start calling people entitled, and really look at, where people have been and what their families have done and what they have and haven't had, before you call them, accuse them of being entitled.